Hi everyone, good morning. Can you see my screen, everyone? Can you hear me?
Yes, Ram, good morning.
Yeah. So in the last session, we discussed about server architecture, right? So anyone newly joined today? So new guys, anyone joined today? Can you share your WhatsApp number, email address in the chat? So anyone newly joined today, you can share your WhatsApp number, email address, so that will provide you previous recordings. Okay. Yeah. Today we are going to discuss about networks. Fine. Yeah, networking part is very important. So before going to AWS, first we need to understand server basics, network basics. So that the terminology, whatever terminology we are discussing here, so that is very important, right? Yeah. Now let us go and discuss about networking. So in the last session, we discussed about first phase of implementation, server architecture, second phase of implementation, third phase of implementation, fourth phase, which is latest one, which is Docker, right? So up to here, we discussed server architecture, right? Yeah, today we are going to start from operating system, okay? Yeah, this server architecture, while working on AWS, will go very deep dive. So what is server? How can we integrate network? How can we communicate? How can we attach storages? How can we detach storages? How can we configure? So these are all we can discuss while working on AWS services. Okay. Yeah. Fine. So we start with operating system. What is operating system? Anyone? Anyone having idea? What is operating system? Real time guys. Operating system అంటే ఏంటండి? Anyone having idea? What is operating system? Fine. Yeah. For example, our hardware or our laptop or a desktop or server or any other Mac systems or any hardware understand only binary language. Binaries. What is binary? Binaries are zeros and ones, right? 0000011001111 like that, right? So hardware, computer hardware always understand binaries, but the human users will not understand binary language, right? Yeah, so computer hardware always understand binary language 0000011001111 like that. So human will not understand binary language. That is why we require one translator. We require one translator. The translator is operating system. Okay, so operating system is an interface between user and the computer hardware. See here. So operating system is an interface between user and the computer hardware. The hardware of the computer cannot understand the human readable language as it works on binaries, that is zeros and ones. In such case, we need an interface which can translate human language to hardware and vice versa for effective communication. You understand, right? So what is operating system? You understand, right, everyone? It is an interface between user and the computer hardware. Fine. See here. So hardware and end user. So yeah, middle. So we have operating system. So this will convert binary language into human readable language and vice versa for effective communication. Okay. Yeah. So types of operating systems. What are the types available? See here. Single user, single tasking operating system. Right. So in this type of operating system, only one user can log into the system. He can perform only one task at a time. So which is nothing but single user, single tasking operating system. For example, MS-DOS, Microsoft Data Operating System. So this is a very old operating system. In this operating system, so only one user can log into the system. He can perform only one task at a time, which is single user, single tasking operating system. Second one is a single user multitasking operating system. In this type of operating system, so one user can log into the system, he can perform multiple tasks at a time. For example, Windows. while browsing internet, we can run background audios, right? While working on any activity, we can run audios. So one user can log into the system, he can perform multiple tasks, right? So in Windows, right? So this is the second type of operating system. Okay. Third one is multi-user multitasking operating system. Multiple users can log into the system, they can perform multiple tasks at a time. So which is nothing but Linux and Unix. Okay. So in Linux systems, multiple users can log in at a time, so they can perform their own activities. So normally in real-time projects, while deploying the code, so developer develop the code, so testers test the code. As a DevOps engineer, as a cloud engineer, what we will do? We deploy the code. While deploying the code, developers log into the servers, testers log into the servers, DevOps engineers also log into the servers, cloud engineers also log into the servers, right? So they perform their own activities. So Linux systems allows multiple users to be multiple users. They can log into the system. They can perform their own activities, right? So currently, most of the data centers, most of the organizations, they are using Linux systems only, Linux servers only. So why Linux? What are the importance here? So Linux is more secured compared with Windows and compared with other operating systems. Linux is more secured. Yeah. So most of the server operating systems we are using Linux servers only, Linux operating system only. So desktops and laptops we are using Windows, right? So some companies they are using Mac OS also, Mac OS. Fine. So next one is what is networking? What is networking? Anyone having idea what is networking? Network. What is network? It's a communication. Networking is a communication between servers, resources, right? Switches, routers, load balancers, right? So networking is nothing but, yeah. So communication between group of devices. We can say group of devices. See here. A computer network is a system in which multiple computers are connected to each other to share information and resources. Fine. See here. So this is a network. So this systems connected through the network. So local area connection, local area network connection, right? So why we require network here? To share the resources, to share the information, we use the network. So what are the characteristics of computer network? Share resources from one computer to another. Yeah, create files and store them in one computer. Access those files from other computers connected over the network. Normally, yeah, in schools or hospitals, right? So the data, whatever user data or patient data or any student data, we store in the server only. So everyone can access from, for example, if you take hospital, right? The patient data they can access from OP, outpatient, right? And also emergency wards they access, and medical store also they can access user data. So why they access from everywhere? Like for example, 5 floors are there in the hospital. So everywhere our data is accessible. How they are accessing? Because they store the data in server, they are accessing through network. It can be any network. It can be LAN network or WAN network or any other network. Okay. So we discussed about network types also. Fine. So create files and store them in one computer, which is server, right? Access those files from other computers connected over the network. So connect a printer, scanner or fax machine to one computer with the network and let other computers of the network use the machines available over the network. So normally in schools or hospitals, so for example, 5 floors are there. Each floor they no need to configure printers and scanners. So 5 floors are there. So they don't configure printers, scanners in all the floors. They don't configure. So if they configure, it is a bit costlier. Costing will be higher, right? So that is why what they will do, they configure printers or scanners in one floor, second floor or third floor, and they configure as a network printer. They configure the printer as a network printer. From any floor they can print the documents. So from any floor, because this is network printer, right? Through network, the request will go, right? From any floor, They can print the documents, they can scan the documents, right? Yeah. So hardware devices required to set up computer network. What are the devices required here? See here, network cables required, distributors required, routers required, internal network cards required, external network cards also required. So these are all devices required. Okay. So network cables. So when we talk about network cables are used to connect computers. The most commonly used cable is category 5 cable, RJ45, we can say RJ45. Okay. Category 6 also available, but category 5 is very popular. Cat 5 cable, we can say short name Cat 5. Okay. Category 5. So normally when we buy any router, along with the router we get one cable, right, which is category 5, Cat 5. So by using color coding we can connect the cable, we can climp the cable, we can connect to our system. See here, this is the category 5 cable. So here color coding is there. So inside of this cable, so here layers will be there. So in that color coding is available. Okay, we can connect this a climp using color coding, and we can connect to our system, and we can connect to router. Yeah. So distributors, a computer can be connected to another via a serial port. So but we need to connect many computers to produce a network. This serial connection will not work. So see here. So thus we can say loopback adapter also. We can say loopback adapter. So which is distributors, we can say. Next one, router. A router is a type of device which act as the central point among computers and other devices that are part of the network. See here. This is the network router. Currently we are using Wi-Fi routers also. Network router, internet router, both are different. Okay. Network router is different, internet router is different. Okay. So currently we are using internet routers in our home, right? So routers, yeah, without cable we can access, right? Yeah. So network cards. So when we talk about network card, so we have two types of cards are available. So network card is a necessary component of computer without which a computer cannot connect over a network. It is also known as the network adapter or network interface card, NIC. Most branded computers have network card pre-installed. Network cards are two types, internal and external network cards. So currently we are not using physical environments, right? But we need to discuss this. These are very important. See here, internal network cards. So motherboard has a slot for internal network card. So there is, yeah, where it is to be installed. So normally previous 10 years back, 15 years back, so we used to use desktops, right? So by the time motherboard, so motherboard is nothing but main board. In that one PCI slot we used to find that. So in that we used to insert one network card. So once insert the network card, so after that we used to deploy the drivers. Then only, yeah, the network card will be activated, right? Normally, so driver required. So earlier, so currently it is plug and play, right? So with latest operating system, all the drivers are available. So even branded systems are having internal chip network card. We no need to configure external network card, right? Yeah. See here, this is the PCI card, internal network card. So this we used to insert into the motherboard, the desktop, right? External network cards. External network cards are two types, wireless and USB. Wireless network cards need to be installed into the motherboard. So however, no network cable is required to connect to the network. See here. So this black one is wireless. Okay. This we can connect to our PCI card. So this is the USB network card. USB card. Right. USB card is used to use and connect via USB port. So computers automatically detect USB card and can install the drivers required to support the USB network card automatically. Okay. So currently, so people are using USB and also Wi-Fi. Most of the systems we are using Wi-Fi only. So what are the important types of computer networks? So these are very, very important. 4 types of networks are available. So these are very important. See here, PAN, LAN, WAN, MAN. Personal area network, local area network, wide area network, metropolitan area network. These are the 4 networks are available. Let's go with one by one. So PAN. PAN is a computer network formed around a person. It generally consists of a computer, mobile, personal digital assistant. Okay, so PAN can be used for establishing communication among these personal devices for connecting to a digital network and the internet. So PAN. So what is PAN? So normally, while working on any activity, we use the Bluetooth mouse, Bluetooth keyboard, right? Bluetooth headset, Bluetooth printer, Bluetooth scanner. See here. These are the devices. These are the PAN devices, personal area network devices, right? So every desktop or laptop we can use PAN network. We can use Bluetooth, right? So it is fine, but there are disadvantages here. Okay, so we'll see that. What are those? See here. What are the characteristics of PAN? It is mostly personal device network equipped within a limited area, allows you to handle the interconnection of ID devices at the surrounding of a single user. PAN includes mobile devices, tablet, and laptop. So around the person, within the room, within the floor only, this will work. There is a distance limitation here. Okay. So advantage of PAN. So PAN networks are relatively secure and safe. It offers only short range solution up to 10 meters. Within 10 meters only it will work. Yeah, strictly restricted to smaller area. Disadvantages. Distance limits. So if you move to other floor, right? Yeah, it will not work. Other floor or the out of the distance will not work, right? What is LAN? Yeah, LAN stands for local area network. It is a group of network devices that allows communication between various connected devices. It covers the smallest areas such as colleges, schools, hospitals, so on. Right? See here, this is the LAN connectivity. So LAN admins used to maintain this. LAN admins used to handle the LAN connectivity. Currently, so DevOps engineers we are using the we are not using LAN actually currently, right? Yeah, this is a traditional one, this is old fashioned, right? So currently we are not using this. So what are the characteristics of LAN? It is a private network. LAN operates at the relatively higher speed compared to other WAN systems. LAN is higher speed. Okay. So when we buy any router, along with the router we get cable, right? So if you compare with Wi-Fi, if you connect the cable, so it is higher speed. So while booking Tatkal tickets, while working on any major activity, we connect the cable. So LAN connectivity is higher speed compared to other networks. Advantage of LAN. See here. So computer resources like hard disks, DVD RAM, printers, scanners can be shared locally in networks. This significantly reduce the cost of the hardware purchases. So when we have LAN connectivity, so we can configure printers, scanners as network printer, network scanner. Okay. So that what will happen? No need to configure all the printers. No need to configure in all the floors, right? So we can buy one printer. We can configure as network printer. We can send request from any floor, right? So data of all network users can store on a single hard disk of the server computer. It will be easy to manage data at the one place, which makes data more secure, right? So normally server we can configure in the data center, right? So no need to everyone connect to the server. They can store the data in server. They can access the data from server. Okay. Disadvantage of LAN. So unauthorized users can access critical data of an organization in case LAN admin is not able to secure centralized data repository. So LAN admin is not capable. Definitely hackers will enter into the network. So unauthorized users can access critical data, right? So this is a LAN. Next one, MAN, Metropolitan Area Network. Yeah, it covers the largest area than LAN such as small towns, cities. MAN connects two or more computers that reside within the same or completely different cities, right? See here. So within the city or different cities also we can connect by using MAN. See here. So what are the characteristics? It mostly covers towns and cities in a maximum 50 kilometers range. Mostly used medium is optical fiber cables. Optical fiber is bit costlier, very faster, right? So when Geo network launch, so by the time they cut the road, they configure the cables inside of the road. That is fiber optic cables. Fiber optic, bit costlier, very fast. Okay. Advantage of MAN. It offers fast communication using higher speed carriers like fiber optic cables. It provides excellent support for an extensive size network and a greater access to WANs. So a MAN network mostly includes some areas of the city or entire city. Okay. So this higher speed carriers we can use when we use the MAN connectivity. So disadvantage of MAN is here. You need more cables to establish MAN connection from one place to another. So in MAN network it is thought to make the system secure from hackers because more distance, right? So we need to protect the network, otherwise hackers will enter. Okay. Next one is WAN, wide area network. It covers a large area than LAN as well as MAN, such as country and continent, etc. So WAN is expensive and should or might not be owned by one organization. So it is a satellite medium, is used for wide area network, satellite communication, right? Country to country, continent to continent. So this is a combination of LAN, MAN and WAN. So what are the characteristics? Any organization can form its global integrated network using WAN. Advantages. So WAN helps you to cover a larger geographical area, therefore business offices situated at longer distance can easily communicate. So WAN connections work using radio transmitters, receivers built into the devices. Okay. So normally country to country, continent to continent. For example, so our region is in Mumbai, one region is in Mumbai, one region is in USA, one region is in Australia, right? If you want to establish the connection by using WAN connectivity, we can establish. Okay. So AWS already configured, no need to worry about this. Earlier, so in physical environments we used to configure this, right? So currently we don't need to worry about the network connections, right? AWS already configured, Azure also already configured, GCP already configured. So as a user, as a DevOps engineer, as a cloud engineer, we can directly access them, right? Disadvantage of WAN. The initial setup cost investment is very higher. So it is it is difficult to maintain the WAN network. You need skilled technicians and network administrators, right? So because longer distance, right? So we require skilled technicians here. So there are more errors and issues because of the wide coverage and the use of different technologies. We can configure the WAN systems, right? See here. So this is the combination of LAN, WAN and MAN. Country to country, continent to continent, we can configure the WAN systems. Yeah. So clear, right? 4 types of network. This terminology is important. Currently we don't need to worry about the physical connections. Okay. So while working on cloud, I'll show you how can we communicate from one region to other region. How can we connect data centers? How can we create networks? We'll see that practically. So our sessions more into practical. So this is theoretical part. So networking introduction. Okay. Yeah. So next one is IP address. What is IP address? Anyone? What is an IP address? IP. What is IP? Internet protocol. Fine. Yeah. So it is the unique address for every device. IP is the unique address for every device, right? So to identify the device in the network, we use the IP. Internet protocol. Full form is, okay. See here. IP stands for Internet Protocol. An IP address is unique address that identify the device on the internet or a local network, which is a set of rules governing the format of data sent via the internet or local network. So every laptop or desktop or server is having IP address. That is unique address. So IP will not be overlap, right? For example, if you open command prompt, so if you search here ipconfig, see here, this is my IP address. Okay, so every device is having their own unique IP address. Okay, so IP version 4, IPv4. What is IP version 4? So it is the 32-bit address. IPv4 version 4 is the 32-bit address. So currently we are using IP version 4. Maybe going forward we use the IP version 6, right? So IP version 4 is the 32-bit address because so every IP is having 4 octets. See here, 4 octets. This is one octet like this. Okay. So each octet 8 bits. Each octet 8 bits. 8 into 4. How many bits? 32 bit. 32 bit address. Okay. Yeah. So going forward we use IPv6. IPv6 is the 128 bit address, not 64. Okay. So the differences. So IP version 6, how it would be. So we'll see that while working on AWS. Okay. So types of IP addresses. This is very important. There are various classifications of IP addresses and each category further contains some types here. First one is private IP address. So normally every system, every laptop or desktop or server, how many IPs will be there? How many IPs will be there? Only one IP, right? Which is network IP. But cloud side, two IPs will be there. Cloud servers having two IPs. So one is a private IP, second one is public IP. Private IP, public IP. So what is the use of private IP? So this is mainly for internal communication. Private IP is the static IP. Static IP. Static IP will not be changed. Permanent IP, right? So public IP. What is public IP? Public IP is a dynamic IP. Dynamic IP, right? So dynamically the IP will be changed. So to connect our server, we use the public IP. Once you log into the server, we use the private IP address. Yeah. So in public IP, we have two types of IPs, dynamic IP and also static IP. So what is dynamic IP? How the IP will be changed dynamically? So that we will see practically. Okay. So along with these two IPs, one more IP is there, which is elastic IP. So cloud servers are having three IP addresses, not two. Public IP, private IP, elastic IP, right? So the differences I'll show you. How can we generate elastic IP? How can we attach elastic IP to the server? So what are the use of elastic IP? What are the importance? We'll see that while working on AWS services. Okay. Next one is a subnet. So any questions up to here, anyone? Anyone having any questions up to here? You can ask me. If you have any questions, you can ask me. So then we'll move further slides. Anyone having any questions up to here?
Hello, sir.
Yeah, go ahead, please. Yes.
Yeah, can you please repeat the IP address? I just missed
Yeah,
it.
IP is a internet protocol. It is a unique address of the system or laptop or desktop, right? So IP will not be overlap. So two types of IPs, IP version 6, IP version 4. Currently we are using IP version 4. So IP version 4 is having 8 bits. Sorry, each octet 8 bits. It is a 32-bit address, right? So 4 octets are there, each octet 8 bits. It's a 32-bit address, right? So IP version 6 is having 128-bit address, fine. So cloud servers are having private IP address, public IP address, two IPs. Along with that, one more IP is there, which is elastic IP. That elastic IP will discuss while working on AWS. Okay. So private IP is the static IP. Static IP means this will not be changed. Public IP is the dynamic IP. Dynamic IP. So public, in place of public IP, you can attach static IP also. That I'll show you while working on cloud platform, AWS platform. Clear, right? So this will go deep dive. This is introduction only, right? While working on AWS. So we'll go very deep dive. We can configure. Practically we'll see this.
So
Practically we'll work on this.
IP version
Sorry?
4 and IP version 6, what do you mean by IP version 4 means 8 into 4 means 32 bit. What about the IP version 6?
Yeah, IP version 6 currently we are not using. Okay, we are not using. So definitely, yeah, see here. So in the cloud servers also we are not using IP version 6. Maybe going forward after 2 years, maybe we use the IP version 6. See here. For example, see here. So this is a Docker server, public IP address, private IP address. So public IP is not there here because this server is in stopped state. So this server is in stopped. Stopped means shutdown, right? So this server is in shutdown state. That is why public IP is the dynamic IP. Whenever we shut down our server, IP will be taken back by data center. Yeah. So in the data center, there will be a DHCP server, dynamic host configuration protocol, that take back this public IP. Whenever we start the server, so we get the new IP here. Every time when you stop server, when you start server, IP will be changed dynamically, which is dynamic IP. Okay. Static IP is the permanent IP. This will not be changed. Fine. Yeah. This we will go deep dive. So we can practically we can work on this. We can see this. How can we generate the elastic IP? One more IP is there. How can we get the elastic IP from data center? How can we attach to the server? That we will see practically. So IPv6, don't need to worry about that. That will take some time to start. So we are not using currently. So if you search here IPv4 versus IP version 6, you will get some information here. See here, IP version 6 is the IP version 4 is the 32-bit address. Oh, these are. See here, IP version 6 is the 128-bit address. IP version 4 is the 32-bit address. IP version 6 is the 128-bit address. See here, IPv4 is having 4 octets. We are discussing, right? 4 octets. Each octet how many bits? 8 bits. 8 into 4, right? So here 32-bit address. IP version 6, 16 bytes are available here. 16 bytes. That we will see later point of time. Don't need to worry about. So here 128-bit address. 128-bit address. You can see the differences here. Right? These are the differences. Currently we are using IPv4. So maybe going forward after 2 years we start using IP version 6. Okay. Yeah. Clear, right, everyone? Next one is subnet. What is subnet? IP is a unique address for every device. It is a 32-bit address, right? What is subnet? So when we search here, when we execute IP config, so we got IP address here and also subnet. We can say subnet mask. Okay. So what is subnet? Subnet is a subnetwork, small network. Instead of the large network, we can create the subnetwork, small network, right? See here. So a subnet or subnetwork is a smaller network instead of a large network. See here. So these are the small networks, subnetworks. For example, so in this floor, we divide different rooms, right? This is the one room, classroom. So another room is there. That side another room is there, right? Why we divide these rooms? I'm giving small example here. So in the floor, 5 rooms, 6 rooms are there here, nearly, right? So we customized as per the requirement. Why we divide into rooms here? To control the noise, to control the disturbance, right? So one class is going there, one class is going that side, right? One class is going here. Fine. So why we divide that? To control the noise, to control the disturbance, right? So same way, so when we create the subnets here, we can control inbound, outbound traffic. For example, so we have 300 servers are there. 100 servers are development servers, 100 servers are QA servers, 100 servers are production servers. In the production servers, we host the databases. So database servers, we should not allow inbound traffic, right? If you want to restrict the database servers, we require subnets. So we can customize, we can assign customized rules, we can allow, deny traffic whenever needed. You understand, right, everyone? Subnet is a sub network, small network instead of the large network. So what is network switch? A switch is a device in a computer network that connects other devices together. Multiple data cables are plugged into the switch to enable communication between different network devices. See here, this is the network switch, this is the traditional switch, this is the traditional switch. Okay, so backside of the switch we have ports, we can connect to the ports, this network cables. So what is gateway? So here, see here, IP address, subnet mask, default gateway. What is gateway? So gateway. So the name itself, it is saying something. Gateway. It is a door, for example. For example, door. If you want to go from this room to other room, we require door, right? Yeah. Same way, this is one network, this is another network. Two networks are there here. So how can we say two networks here? 10.0.0.0/8. This range is different range. 20.0.0.0/8. This is other range. Two different networks, two different IPs. In between, if you want to communicate, if you want to establish a connection, we require gateway. Gateways are gateway. So it said way to go from one network to other network. Okay. Yeah. So how can we configure these gateways? How can we establish a connection? We'll see that practically. So what is firewall? Firewall. What is firewall? So we'll see that. Firewalls are network security systems that prevent unauthorized access to a network. It can be a hardware or software unit that filters the incoming, outgoing traffic within the network, right? So firewalls, normally if you want to access your office network, so we get laptop when we join the project, right? If you want to access your office network, so before accessing, what we will do, we can connect VPN server, VPN. So VPN will allow you to connect your office network. VPN is a gateway, it is a firewall. So in the VPN, firewall configured, so it will allow authorized users only, it will deny unauthorized users. Okay, see here. So it will allow good traffic. In the firewall, we create the firewall rules. Based on the firewall rules, so firewall will allow, deny the traffic, right? So through internet, we can connect our office network, right? So here it will allow good traffic. Good traffic can be allowed by firewalls. Bad traffic will not be allowed by firewalls. It will block here, right? Next one, what is replication? What is failover? What is load balancer? These are very, very important. So replication, failover, load balancer. So replication is a technology for copying and distributing data and databases objects from one database to another, and then synchronizing between databases to maintain consistency and high integrity of the data. In most cases, replication is a process of reproducing the data at the desired targets. See here. So replication is a duplication. So this is the region, primary region. This is Mumbai region, for example. This is the secondary region, US region. So Mumbai region to US region, data will be replicate, synchronize, duplicate, right? So in case primary region is down, the data will be secondary region. So user is accessing from primary region is down, automatically that will fail over to secondary region. Failover means switching to other region. Okay, so this user can access the data from other region immediately without any manual intervention. Okay, so load balancer will discuss. Okay, so replication, failover, you understand, right, everyone? Normally AWS configured this replication methodology, right? So whatever applications we are hosting on AWS cloud, whatever databases we hosted on AWS cloud, that is highly available. AWS is providing high availability, high security, right? So in case one zone is down, one region is down, nothing will be happen. Data will be accessible, right? See here. Next one is what is cluster? What are the advantages of cluster, right? So cluster is nothing but a group of servers. Cluster is nothing but group of servers, right? Yeah. So benefits of cluster: fault tolerance and load balancing. What is load balancing? What is fault tolerance? So cluster is nothing but a group of servers. For example, so we configure 10 servers as a group, right? So for example, one server is getting more requests, more hits, more requests. That load will be balanced to other servers. For example, in the project, 5 members are there, 5 members, each one getting 30 requests, nearly 150 requests, right? Yeah, 150 requests, each one getting 30 requests. So 30 into 5, 150 requests. So in this 5 guys, 2 guys went only. What will happen? The request will be shared to other one, right? That is load balancing. So fault tolerance. What is fault tolerance? In case here 2 servers are crash down, application will not be down. In the project, 2 members went, two members left from the project. They resigned. Project will not be stopped, right? That is fault tolerance. Load balancing, fault tolerance. So this is entry question. What is cluster? Advantage of cluster, right? Cluster is a group of devices or group of servers. Benefits of cluster is fault tolerance, load balancing. Okay, fine. So why Linux? Why the project teams are using Linux always? Server side. What are the advantages here? See here. It is free, open source, secure, so many distributions available, very fast performance here. So it's a fast performance compared to Windows. So no viruses, no malwares, no slowdowns, no crashes, no costly repairs. Viruses will not be affected to the Linux servers. No malwares. Malwares means different types of threats will not be affected to the servers. Slowdowns, no crashes. Linux servers will not be crashed, right? No costly repairs. Costly repairs also. So we don't, we don't see any costly repairs here compared to Windows. Okay, so that is why most of the project teams are using Linux operating systems. Clear, right, everyone? Any questions you can ask me now. So servers, networks, these basics are very important while working on AWS. So the terminology: IP, subnet, gateway, router, replication, load balancing, fault tolerance, right, and also failover. So these are all terminologies are very important. So that is why we discussed this basics yesterday and today. Okay. So server side also we discussed some terminology. So while working on AWS cloud, again that will be repeated. Okay. So practically we will work on this all the services in AWS. Okay. Tomorrow we are going to start AWS. Fine. So tomorrow how to create AWS account? How can we connect AWS account? So what are the regions, zones, availability sets we can see in AWS? So any questions, anyone so far? Anyone having any questions, you can ask me now. Yeah, so tomorrow the link may be changed. Yeah, everyone, if you are interested, you can make the fee and you can add into WhatsApp group. Even classroom guys also, you can add into WhatsApp group as soon as possible. So otherwise, tomorrow onwards, our people will not be, they will come and check. Okay, you can complete your fee today and you can add into WhatsApp group. Yeah, go ahead, please.
Sir, it's a general question. Documentation, when can we expect documentation on each
Yes,
topic?
once start AWS, once start the AWS. So service wise, I provide you documents. Okay. So tomorrow we are going to start AWS, right? So Monday onwards, you get the documentation. Okay. So this
Okay.
servers networks basics, I'll provide you one document. So cloud documentation will get from Monday onwards. Okay.
Okay, sir. So also, what about yesterday's class, recorded session? I tried to check my WhatsApp messages, but I did not receive it yet from the group or
Yesterday,
anything. So when can we expect
yesterday
it?
they sent in the group, right? You are in the group or not?
Yes,
WhatsApp.
I'm in the group. Okay.
They shared
I
the
checked.
They shared the link, right? I'll send it
Uh,
again. Don't worry.
okay,
I'll send
sure,
it again.
sure. Yeah, yeah. Thank you, sir. That's it. Yeah.
Any other questions, anyone? Fine. Yeah. So tomorrow we are going to start AWS, right? So AWS services are very core services, very important services. So if you understand AWS, you can easily understand Azure and GCP, Azure and Google Cloud. Okay. So we are our course is multi-cloud with DevOps, right? So at least every organization they are looking for, they are expecting two cloud platforms from the engineer. Okay. So if you understand two clouds, you can fit with any project. If you have knowledge, if you have hands-on on at least two clouds, you can fit with any project. You can handle any services, right? So you need to focus on AWS. If you understand AWS, you can easily understand other clouds also. Fine. So everyone should practice daily basis. So Monday onwards. So tomorrow AWS introduction and AWS account creation, AWS console overview. Monday onwards, so practical oriented sessions. Monday onwards. So tomorrow also very important. So how to create account is very important, right? So I'll show you how to create account, and we can walk through the console also. This console also we can walk through. So these are the regions here. These are the data centers. What is data center? What is region? So why this many regions are required? Okay. So see here, US East North Virginia, Ohio, US West North California, US West Oregon, Asia Pacific Mumbai, Seoul, Singapore, Sydney, Tokyo, Canada data center. So region is a data center. Region is a data center, right? So these are the Europe regions, Africa region. So why this many regions required, and what are the advantages of regions? So inside of these regions, zones also available. What is zone? What are the advantages of zone? These all we can discuss tomorrow. Okay, and also these are the services which we are going to work on. We'll walk through the console tomorrow. So Monday onwards, make sure everyone required laptop and internet connectivity for practice. Okay. So daily basis, if you practice within 3 months, within 3.5 months maximum, you can crack your interview and you can get into the project. If you are already working in the other technology or other domain, you can easily switch into DevOps and cloud, right? So currently DevOps is having huge demand, use packages also, right? So one of my friend is one of my ex-colleague switched to HSBC recently. He got very good package, nearly 42 lakh package in India. Okay, in US, one of my student, so his name Balkrishna, he switched to DevOps role. He got 1.5 lakh USD per annum. It's costing nearly, it's a Indian currency 8 lakhs per month. Okay. Yeah, so packages are very good. So you need to focus, you need to practice daily basis. Within 3.5 months, you can easily crack your interview. You can get into the project. Okay, fine. So if you are not added into WhatsApp group, you can add into WhatsApp group today. Once you make the fee. So tomorrow onwards, yeah, we are going to start AWS. Fine. Yeah, we can wind up here. If you have any more questions, you can reach out to me. You can WhatsApp me, you can call me on my number. My number already shared with you, 96422111711. This is my mobile number. So any new guys joined, you can share your WhatsApp number, email address here. Fine. So we can wind up here. Yeah. Thank you all.